Gbadolite, Northern Zaire, the 17th of May, 1997. An old man in a leopard skin hat climbs the steps of a cargo plane on his own private runway, a runway once built long enough to land Concorde. This is his home, his jungle palace, the place they call the Versailles of the jungle. And as his aircraft turns and begins to roll, his own soldiers, the army he built, paid and pampered for 32 years, open fire on the plane as it lifts into the sky. He is not overthrown by a foreign power. He is chased out by his own men, and he will never touch the soil of his country again. His name is Mobutu Sese Seko. For 3 decades, he ruled a nation the size of Western Europe as if it were his personal estate. He was said to have stolen as much as $5 billion. Yet when he died, barely 4 months from now, investigators searching the banks of the world would find almost nothing. This is the story of how a man can steal a fortune the size of a country and die with empty hands. This is how it happened. Rewind. He was born Joseph Désiré Mobutu in 1930 in the Belgian Congo. A soldier in the colonial army, then a journalist, then an aide to the young independence hero Patrice Lumumba. But Mobutu's true talent was for power. In September 1960, as newly independent Congo tore itself apart, the army chief stepped into the chaos. And in November 1965, at just 35 years old, he seized the country in a coup and did not let go for 32 years. In 1971, he renamed the country Zaire and renamed himself Mobutu Sese Seko, glossed as the all-powerful warrior who goes from conquest to conquest, leaving fire in his wake. He banned Western suits and put the nation in a tunic of his own design. He traded his general's cap for a leopard skin toque and a carved cane, and made himself the single father of the nation. His face hung in every office. The evening news began with his image descending from the clouds, and the West let him do it. Because Mobutu had one thing the Cold War prized above all else. He was fiercely anti-communist, sitting on a treasure of copper, cobalt, and diamonds in the heart of Africa. Washington and Paris propped him up with money and weapons and looked away from what he did with them. What he did was steal, openly, and on a scale that stunned the world. He skimmed the state's mineral wealth as if it were an allowance. He built Gbadolite deep in the jungle. 3 palaces, a power station, a nuclear bunker for 500 people, and that Concorde-length runway, so he could charter the world's fastest jet to shop in Paris. And he barely hid it. In one notorious speech, he told his own people the rules of the game.
If you want to steal, steal a little in a clever way. But if you steal too much and become rich overnight, you will be caught.
His countrymen even coined a word for it, le mal zairois, the Zairean sickness. While he chartered Concorde, the roads dissolved, the hospitals emptied, and one of the richest lands on earth became one of the poorest. Then the Cold War ended, and with it, Mobutu's usefulness. His foreign friends drifted away, and in 1994, catastrophe arrived at his border. The genocide in neighboring Rwanda sent more than 1 million people flooding into eastern Zaire, and with them, the killers who had carried it out. The East became a tinderbox. In October 1996, a long-forgotten rebel named Laurent Désiré Kabila rose out of that chaos, armed and driven forward by Rwanda and Uganda, who wanted Mobutu gone. What followed was not a war so much as a collapse. Kabila's fighters marched clean across the country in 7 months, city after city falling with barely a shot. Because Mobutu's great army existed mostly on paper, its wages long since stolen by its own officers, and the great thief himself was dying. Prostate cancer had hollowed him out, and he spent the crucial months in hospitals in Switzerland and France while his kingdom dissolved. In May 1997, aboard a South African warship, Nelson Mandela sat him across a table from Kabila and begged him to step aside peacefully. Mobutu refused to let go. Days later, the choice was made for him. His generals told him the capital could not be held, and he fled to Gbadolite, to that runway and that last plane, and the gunfire of his own men. He ran first to Togo, then to Morocco. France, which had propped him up for decades, refused to let the dying dictator in, And on the 7th of September 1997, in a military hospital in Rabat, Mobutu Sese Seko died in exile, aged 66. And here is the twist the whole world waited for. The man said to have stolen $5 billion. The man who chartered Concorde and built a palace in the jungle left almost nothing anyone could find. Swiss investigators, hunting his legendary fortune, froze just $3.4 million. The billions had simply vanished, scattered through shell companies, lawyers and relatives, or spent on a kingdom that was already gone. Years later, even that last frozen scrap was quietly handed back to his family. The country kept his name for a while. It kept none of his money. This was the story of Mobutu Sese Seko, told the Sankofa way. Go back and get it. If it moved you, tell us in the comments whose story we should tell next. Until then, stay upright.